Okay, Peter, this is the question everybody's been waiting to hear you answer today. What day is it?
Hump day.
Finally. I'm Adam Maness.
And I'm Peter Martin.
And you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast.
Daily jazz advice coming at you.
Coming at you on a hump day, a Wednesday. Folks, he's finally got it.
Wait. Today's
Finally.
actually Thursday, though. So that's the only reason I thought, we're projecting into next week.
Yeah, man, we're professionals.
Yeah.
And you just pulled back the curtain, and the professor's back there working the great and powerful Oz, and thanks a lot for that.
Okay, sorry about that. Yes, no, today's hump day. I get it now, Wednesday, because it's halfway through the week.
Right.
Right?
And you get it because we do our hump day special.
You know what? Let me just give you a quick explanation. We are going to do a hump day special. We're not going to say that till the end of the day. This one's actually better than last week's. Last week's was good. We had a lot of love for last week's. We're going to say at the end of the episode, though, right?
Yeah.
The reason I was confused on hump day, I finally figured it out, and I think I'm straight now, is because I look at the week as 7 days, okay?
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because there's 7 days in the week.
Yeah.
I don't know why people think Monday, I know they're working Monday through Friday. I'm
'Cause-
working
'cause you're
every
a-
day. I'm working every
I
day,
know,
baby.
You're a traveling jazz pianist who's never had a weekday in and out kind of job. So yeah.
Well,
there's
I
no,
feel like I have one now, but I think I don't look at even the days I'm working. If I'm working on the weekend or tonight, I know you have a gig tonight or whatever. I don't look at that as work.
Yeah.
I look at that. I mean, yeah, it's work, but anyway.
Some
I
gigs are more
digress.
work than others.
That's right.
Hey, but before we get into our episode here, which is, by the way, fantastically clickbaity title on this episode, How to Supercharge
welcome.
Your Practice Routine. But actually,
Yeah.
what we have here is pretty cool.
I mean, it's
So,
clickbaity, but it's accurate.
It is
so
accurate.
If you came here for that, that's what we're going to give
Yeah,
you.
stay tuned for that. But big announcement.
Yes.
You know what Open Studio is doing in January?
I've heard a few things about this. I'm excited because it involves New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah, that's right. The same thing we did last January
Yes.
is we went to the Gen Conference.
Right.
Last year was in Reno, which was very, very fun. And we had a booth, and we ran into a bunch of You'll Hear It listeners.
Yes.
Thank you for stopping by the booth.
Yeah. And that was early on in the You'll Hear It pedigree of programs.
Yeah, we were about almost a year in at that point.
Yeah.
But it was just me and Brian Fielding.
Yes.
Business Silver Fox.
The Silver Fox.
That's
as
right,
he's
who
known.
were manning that booth, and we appreciate everybody for stopping by. But this January, between January 7th through the 10th,
Yeah.
we're going to be at Gen again, and there's going to be a You'll Hear It live broadcast
That's right.
down there at the conference. Come by. You can get some You'll Hear It swag.
We even
You
have
can-
do we have a date and time on that yet, or is it still TBD, as we say?
We will
can
have a
leave it
date and
TBD.
time on it next week, and I'll update everybody as we go. And
Okay,
we'll
we got a little
honestly
time.
we'll be promoting it because we want you guys to come to Gen. First of all, Gen is like it's the Jazz Education Network conference. There's a
Right.
ton of cool stuff happening. There's lots of great performances, clinics, all
Equipment
these,
stuff too, right?
tons
Yeah.
of gear,
And like good performances, like of
yeah.
really good
Well,
players.
Sean Jones runs the organization now. He's,
Yeah.
he's going to be
Sean
the
is
incoming
it's going to be correct,
president. So
And you're in New Orleans.
And this next year is going to be in New Orleans. It's going to be absolutely nuts. So come join us at Gen, January 7th through the 10th. Come join us at a live You Hear It. It's probably going to be either the Thursday or the Friday, either the 9th or the 10th. We're going to be having a live recording. We'll probably record 3 episodes of You'll Hear It. Come be a part of it.
Wow.
We're going to do a lot of fun stuff.
We got to have Andrew there. Are you available, Andrew? Can you come to New Orleans? Does your Iowa passport allow interstate travel? Yes, I think it does. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And shout out to the Gen folks for making it happen.
Yeah.
Like the
I
Gen,
think I may be doing a little nerdy business talk as
Yeah,
well.
on the 7th, you are doing a nerdy business talk
Okay.
about. I don't even care.
I don't care either. We need folks. It's gonna be free. Well, I don't know. Is it free actually to go?
Well, you
to?
have to sign up for the conference, but then
Okay.
everything is
Right.
free, including all the awesome performances. So
Yeah.
check it out. But I do want to give a shout out to everybody over at Gen, particularly Sharon, for helping us work this out. Like, she literally emailed us because we applied for this, and she said, "Hey, we don't have a category for this, but we love the podcast. We want to make this happen.
Right.
You'll hear it at Gen." So they kind of squeezed us in. So we're super stoked.
We are category defining. This is a category defining podcast. Daily Jazz Advice. Nobody has a category for this.
No.
Although we are up for a potty.
Oh, that's true.
That's right.
That's true.
The podcast awards. We'll have a link to that below, even though I don't think you can vote yet. But we did get nominated for a
All right.
podcast
Well,
award.
these people aren't here to talk about any conferences or any award
That's
shows.
true.
They're here to talk about practice.
That's right. Let's talk about some practice
They
in
wanna
the
talk about
words of
practice.
Allen Iverson.
How to supercharge your practice routine. I mean, this is
Hashtag
clickbaity as it can possibly
76ers.
be.
Yeah. No, this is. But you know what? We're going to deliver on this. So let's start right with number one. Can I jump in with number one?
You got it.
Because I like this one.
All right.
And I don't even know if I'm using this term right, but I'm going to explain it. Time box.
What is that?
I don't know. I mean, it's a buzzword I've heard, but this is the way I use it. This is like you say, okay, I'm going to practice this specific thing for this amount of time, no matter what.
Oh, that's good.
And like what I'll usually use is either 25 minutes or 55 minutes.
That's right.
Which is a little bit arbitrary, but the idea is that then you take 5 minutes of break, which is more like just to kind of clear your head, and also with the idea of if you're going to go that intensely for that time, you're already kind of planning that's when it lets go. And so you can even do, and I'm probably misusing this term too. Are you familiar with the Pomodoro Technique?
Is that like the hairstyle where it goes whoop
Well,
and then slick back?
A
That's
little
a
bit.
pompadour, I think.
That's a pompadour. This is more based upon the tomato, which is Pomodoro is actually tomato.
Yeah.
No, but this is the idea of that like you work for 25 minutes and then you take 5 minutes break. You work intensely. The thing is deep work kind of thing. But time boxing, and I was also thinking of bird boxing because I didn't see the movie, so I don't know how that works. Did you see Bird Box?
No, I assume
Okay.
that's some sort of
Okay.
martial art.
No, it was the one where everybody was. I did a
where
Bird
they
Box
couldn't
video.
see anything?
Yeah,
Is
it was
wait,
like
is
a
that the one
horror
where they couldn't
movie.
talk?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it. But anyway, time boxing. So like you're really just being very specific with the amount of time and what you're going to do. And so how this can supercharge your practice routine is that if you pick the right thing and you're like at a very focused time, you can make rapid progress with this. So I like doing this with technical exercises, specific classical things, transcription. So you might say, I'm going to spend 55 minutes transcribing this solo, and my goal is to get X number of bars. So you're not like, oh, let me check out the vibe on this or whatever,
No,
drifting around. This is like specific tactical, like I'm getting beep done.
What's so good about this is it takes away this idea of like, oh, well, I have to reach my goal of being able to play this perfectly by the end of my practice routine. That's a horrible cycle to get into.
Yeah.
Really, it's just about putting in the time, putting in
Yeah.
the reps, and you don't have to achieve anything except for I achieve that I reached that time goal.
Yeah.
That's perfect, man. I love that.
And it's a little bit, I mean, I think another way to look at it, maybe slightly negative, is like the grind part of your practice. This is just like you're keeping going. You're not like, oh, I'm not quite feeling it. So you do have to time this out in your practice. For me, this is more like the middle of the practice time.
Nice.
Although, like, I'll sort of be flexible and just see when I get into it. But if you liken it to maybe sort of, if you do like a half marathon or a 10K or something, you're like, oh, I'm feeling great at the beginning. Everyone, the energy's there. At a certain point, it's like, now you just got to run,
Yeah.
but like you got to put the work in. And so you want to have the task, the amount of time, and the mindset all in line. You can really get something accomplished.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So number 2 is practice like you have a deadline, even if you don't. Now, this is something I use all the time because
Well, you have a lot of deadlines, so it's
man,
easy
I have
for
nothing
you.
but deadlines. If you look at my calendar, it's silly.
Yeah.
But deadlines make you just do stuff.
Right.
I mean, even if it's
Productivity goes up.
not, you just have to get it done. Because
Yeah.
if you don't have a deadline, oftentimes there's the procrastination monster settling in.
Right.
Because it doesn't really matter. So set a deadline for yourself. I mean, I will set a fire deadline. Like I will be like, I will box myself into a corner. I will
Right.
bird box
You'll
myself
bird-
into a corner.
Time box and bird
I will
box.
time and bird box the Pomodoro technique. No, into a corner, and to the point where it's like, okay, well, if I don't get this done, I'm going to get a divorce and my bank account's going to be empty. Like
Right.
I will really, because then I'll definitely do, not only will I get it done, but it'll probably be pretty good.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Like it's weird how that works, but
Well, and I mean, both of us over the past few years, working together, we both have separate projects and some together where we've had this on us, and it's actually been a good thing.
yeah.
So what I was thinking with this is like you can sort of self-impose. It's harder to self-impose this on you because in the back of your mind, I don't really have to get it done.
Yeah.
But once you kind of understand that you can do good work even under pressure, if you can apply that even somewhat successfully to other things that you want to get done, even if there is an external, because usually deadlines, that's about external things. Why can't we give ourselves a deadline? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why can't we do
It's
it?
just harder because then you forgive yourself. So what?
Yeah.
So some tips on this, like, if you're working on your solo piano stuff, book yourself a solo piano gig.
Yeah.
Like, 2 months down the road or whatever, or
Right.
like a concert, whatever you can do. I've done this with like, recording sessions. It's like, all right, I want to make a record. Well, the
Schedule it.
yeah, the studio I know would let me just come in probably whenever I wanted, but like I
Yeah.
gotta put a date on it so that I just get the work done.
That's right.
pretty
That's
good.
right.
Okay,
Good.
what's number 3?
Number 3 is boom, boom, boom. Reward yourself. Free play. Okay, so this is an idea of you can combine it with either one of these, the deadline or the kind of time boxing. But, once you kind of have the goals and the grind part of your practice, give yourself, before you get to the end of those sections, some kind of reward so that you have something to look forward to, so that it's not just the grind. So you want to give kind of a form to your practice. So once you get into grind mode, and again, I guess there's different ways to do this. I normally just sort of set it up pretty simply in that, like, you got kind of a warm up, get into the vibe part of your practice. You've got the grind portion where you're really trying to get stuff accomplished, but it's not necessarily fun things to practice, but that you have something fun at the end there. And I mean, you want to kind of keep this with the music. It's not about I guess you could kind of reward yourself with some ice cream or whatever, but this is more something musical. So you want to go opposite what the grind was. Yeah. So if you're like doing a whole bunch of technical stuff, very cerebral, very like analytical or whatever, do something that's just totally free. And so we're always talking about practicing performing. You can knock out 2 bird boxes with 1 stone at this point, right?
Love it.
So you can go kind of like just play something that literally is like the most fun thing for you to play.
Love it.
Like anything, like your favorite tune or whatever. And you're not thinking about what am I trying to accomplish. You're rewarding yourself, connecting with the music, connecting with the instrument, having a good time.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, number 4, write it down. We've talked about this before, but it's super important. If you really want to supercharge your practice routine,
That's true.
write down what you're going to do before you do it, before you start your routine, and then write down what you did when you're done with it.
That's right.
Spoiler alert, we are going to be coming up here pretty soon with our own custom practice journal, which will have things like how to keep track of keys and tunes and all this stuff.
We might call that Open Studio Accountability Bujo.
Oh my gosh.
We could do that.
I can't wait for it just for my own routine. Like
Yeah.
I designed it with like how I want to practice in mind. So
That's
it's going
right.
to be killing. But we've been doing this on our own for
Yeah.
years now. We write down your goals. You write down how you think your session is going to go. It makes a huge difference. It keeps you accountable. And then write down what you did.
Yeah. And with this, I like to really do, I'm very, digital, whatever. I'll put a lot of lists here. But when I'm practicing, I'll often go to, I don't know, there's something about writing something with a pen or pencil that makes it more real. I mean, you can certainly just like putting a note down, digitally. But I love to kind of go next levels, the way it feels to me. So you find whatever works for you. Maybe if you're always doing pen and pencil in your job or whatever, then going digital is the time. But do something separate where you write down as you said, what you want to accomplish. And I like to think about it as 2 or 3 things. Like, these are what I'm going to get accomplished. Like the difficulty is like you think, if I'm supercharging, I want to get 20 things done. Well, if you do this right, you will get a lot of things done over the course of your practice. But if you write down the 2 or 3 main things that you want to accomplish, and then you really focus on that, the other things will come, I think.
So true.
Is the practice journal going to account for that? We might need to.
It is going to.
Are we still editing it, or is it done?
No, it's done.
Oh, it's done.
It,
Okay,
it has
good.
all that.
Good.
All right. So number 5 and our final one is record your practice session. I can't tell you how much this is going to change your life if you haven't done this yet. So to get better at anything, you need feedback. You need expert feedback, but even self-feedback can be...
And a feedback loop. Oh, no. That's bad.
No,
Feedback
you need,
loop is bad.
You need self-feedback to really get you to where you want to be, because you can record yourself, how you're practicing something, observe where you need work, and then address it in your next session. I'm telling you what, man.
Bird lives. Sorry, go ahead.
It is a game. It is a game changer.
Yeah.
So let's just go over this checklist again, because I feel like it's really important. How to
You feel like I didn't listen, right? I was listening.
I'm not even listening to you now.
Okay.
How to supercharge your practice routine. 1, a time box.
Yeah.
Or Pomodoro Technique. That's 25 minutes
Or
on,
Pompadour technique. I
5
like that.
minutes off, or 55 minutes on, 5 minutes off.
Yep. Unless you use the metric system. We're not going to calculate that.
That's
okay.
time. That's
Okay.
Okay. Number 2, practice like you have a deadline, even if you don't.
Yep.
Number 3, reward yourself with free play. Number 4, write down your practice routine before and after. And number 5,
Record yourself.
it.
Yeah.
That's great.
These are good, man. This is I love it. I love it when we go old school because remember when we started, we were like all about like we were so desperate. We're like we got to give them the tactics and like exactly. But I love when we go back. We go back in the grind.
I'm down.
You know what I
The
mean?
grind is where it's at, man. It's where
That's
the
what
good
I'm
stuff
saying.
happens.
Every
All right.
day.
All right. So we promised a hump day special. What do we got?
Is it still hump day?
It's still
I
hump
feel
day.
like we've been here so long.
We've been talking a while.
Okay. Did we agree on this or are we still gonna freeball this?
No, we agreed.
Okay. It's because this was sitting here and because we have so much interest in these, people are like, where can I get them? And what we're doing is we're offering this, an Open Studio t-shirt. We have You'll Hear It t-shirts. Should we do one of those?
You'll hear t-shirts?
Yeah. Or should it be their choice?
They're
Those are a little rarer, aren't they?
Should we
I think
do-
that should be only be for the You'll Hear premium people.
Okay, I agree, I agree.
Okay.
Okay, so Open
this
Studio-
but this is a good. I mean, this is a high quality shirt.
preparation is amazing.
Andrew Kitchen, producer, has been known to wear these.
we all wear them.
Yeah, we do all wear them. That's true.
Yeah.
So Open Studio T-shirt, you pick the size, you pick the color, and you get it for free.
Yep.
With free shipping.
Yep.
When you buy
Jazz Piano Jumpstart.
Jazz Piano Jumpstart,
Yeah,
which
so-
just happens to be one of our newest and least expensive courses anyway.
It's also been popping off this summer.
It's been popping off, so we want to reward folks that come in. You're gonna get this.
Yeah. So if you go to
If you
buy,
want.
if you go buy the Jazz Piano Jumpstart, we'll put a link here in the description. Put in the offer code Hump
Yeah.
Day Shirt. Is that right?
Hump Day shirt.
Hump Day
Is
Shirt.
that one word?
Hump Day Shirt.
that one word?
Jinx. Yeah, one word. Hump Day Shirt. Offer code in the offer code field, and you'll get a free Open Studio.
Is that correct?
T-shirt.
Do they get to pick the color? Oh, they didn't. You do not really. But all our colors are good though. All our colors are good. So, but they get to pick the size.
You're gonna get a nice
They get to pick
neutral
the size.
blue or
Are we doing
gray.
free shipping? Free shipping. Bam! Look at that. Whoa. Oops. All right. Well, till tomorrow.
You'll hear it.